Guys, it's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. So today's article comes out of End Times Headlines. Let's get into it. First of all, continue to pray for me for my neck and my back. I have this something weird, something or other that's like it's either in my neck or like base of my neck or like rhomboid, like right here on the back, rhomboid area. But it runs like here and it runs down to like my elbow-ish area where I can feel the pain kind of here. It's weird. It's not even like it's like just think of like a line. That's it. It's funny how nothing outside of like over here hurts, but like when I move a certain way, it just goes right in there. Either I'm sleeping wrong or I've pulled something or there's something in my back that's pinched and it needs to become unpinched. So please pray for me for that to get that figured out, worked out through a chiropractor or just through stretching. Okay, here we go. This is pretty wild. A neuroscientist sounds the alarm regarding the case that AI is capable of thinking. I don't know how many times I told you the old niche over here, old niche Weston, conspiracy theory Weston, that I was like, there are things that can live inside of phones. Let's just say AirPods, uh, PlayStation, my computer screen, my computer, my laptop over here. I have two laptops, work laptop, home laptop, whatever, like whatever. You've seen videos where things are just randomly moving. Just, you're like, who did that? A spirit? Could a spirit move something like that? It seems to be so. Um, so why would we not think that there's something living inside of like actual code, actual computers, actual like digital? It doesn't need a body. It can just inhabit something. It can go into pigs. It can go into human beings. It can go into the statues. I mean, we literally see stuff like this happen all the time. Even in movies, they project stuff like this, and not because the movies are not unreal or unrealistic. I think they're realistic. I think they're so realistic that something is feeding people this kind of like information and or like thought process. So it says here, whether artificial AI can truly think. That's wild. Remember we were talking about like the giant? Remember I was talking about the giant and like the the image of the beast, and it would cast its image and it would speak to you and it would move and man, this is just here we are. That was like 3 years ago. How long been a topic of fascination and debate? While AI systems like ChatGPT and Claude have demonstrated remarkable abilities generating human-like text, solving complex problems, even engaging in strategic reasoning, many scientists argue these capabilities fall short of genuine thought. Interesting. However, a growing number of neuroscientists are challenging the view, asserting that AI may indeed possess a form of thinking that mirrors human cognition in meaningful ways. Drawing on recent articles and research, this piece explore the case made by neuroscientists who see AI as more than just a sophisticated tool. I know that I do. Sura Ganguly, a neuroscientist and physicist at Stanford University, has a prominent voice in the bridging of AI and neuroscience. May 2024, with Wu Tsai Neuroscience Institute, Ganguly argued that modern AI systems, particularly LLMs or large language models, blah, 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 exhibit behaviors that parallel how the human brain processes information. I would say even more so. He points to their ability to predict and generate sequences and the next word in a sentence, so as analogous to brain's predictive coding mechanisms. Remember, the brain is like a computer. It's like a CPU, and it's got threads and it's got buses. These are ways that information travels from like the CPU to the RAM um, to the hard drive to the fans to however information is going down information highways. It's like, this is why people think we live in a simulation, like you're just a walking simulation. No, I think computers are a way of looking at human life, and the way we're designed, it's so intelligent that we can make a computer and do all these things with many transistors and billions upon billions of transistors. How is the body made? And that means if we're intelligent enough to take a computer and add all the parts to it to make the actual computer work, not a laptop, not a mirror, not a monitor, a computer, who makes us like this? That means it would by default would mean there's like a default intelligence that makes humans the way they are. It just makes sense. If humans are making such detailed, even quantum or supercomputers at this point, something like that. um, and I work in cybersecurity actively. then we're doing something like this. What would make you think that when you look at the human body, it mirrors something like that? Well, this just didn't happen. Like, this just doesn't happen out of nowhere, out of nothing. That nothing made all this. No, that's illogical. Totally illogical. Um, it means at least there is an intelligence behind their creation. So I'm not going to read all of it. It says these models are doing things we didn't expect a couple years ago, suggesting that their capacity to generalize from vast data sets hints at rudimentary form of reasoning. Ganguly's predictive perspective aligns with the idea that AI's neural networks, inspired by biological neurons, there we go, may be tapping into a fundamental principles of cognition. While he acknowledges that AI lacks the depth of human consciousness, exactly, it does, he argues that the ability to handle tasks like an image captioning or game playing reflects a thinking that neuroscientists should take seriously as a window into intelligence itself. So weird, bro. That it's like we want to make a god, and it's not even a god because it has to be inhabited by something. It misses the form of life. It misses that essence, that core thing that makes it all work, breath. And something has to live inside of it. Something is going to give it its way to a consciousness or a form of sentience, right? And it's like this is where life, a spirit of something we cannot make in and of ourselves, that's it breeds in the spiritual, right? It breeds in there's something more to just us. And if there is more to us, I wonder if there's things that we can't see that are out and about moving around right now. Like you put on goggles, like you're like, oh, 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 the natural, supernatural, the natural, supernatural, meaning you're just seeing the supernatural through a different lens. And now it shows up and you're like, wow, I didn't see all this stuff before. Um, it's that we've seen movies like this for the longest of times, so many times. It's like somebody who made D-Wave, those big, if you ever look up D-Wave, it's like a big massive super quantum computer, and they say they're like summoning a demon. It's like they're trying to open a portal. Something about the machine, how it works, in a way it's almost like it's a copy, or it's a way into trying to breach another dimension, trying to breach something further, or trying to seek or open up into other spaces and places. um with like portals and but we don't even need, I don't even think we even need that. I think we already have supernatural technology that's here. We call it technology, but really it's supernatural things that we've been given. Like the Book of Enoch said that many angels taught them how to use certain sorceries, pharmakia, certain tools to create weapons. We look at like uh the the pyramids in Egypt. Like, bro, what? Like that stuff is not just done by human. That's no way. There's something more to that. That's where Nephilim or giants come into play, right? Same thing. Um, Fallen angels. How do you do something so precise? How did you get the tools? What did you do? It's technology. I think is just a front to try to like not get you to see the reality of the spiritual and the harmful entities that are involved. And when we if we could see past that and just have an inkling into that, you would say it's like the entities are having you build AI so these kind of technologies so they can fool you and deceive you while ushering in a high road, what is it, a wide road that leads to hell and destruction. Narrow is the way, broad is the way that leads to destruction, kind of situation. um, this is where you get Project Bluebeam, like a holograms, so real that you're like, I don't know if this is real or not. This is where you get AI generated stuff where people can't even at some point are like, is this real? Is this not real? People start looking at fingers, start looking at like the way they move, the way they talk, because it's like a uncanny valley kind of situation where it looks like you look human, but you're not. And then you get this weird sense like you're not me. But then it gets so good, you're like, are you me? Are you like, you see what I'm saying? The deception is real. That's AI. That's AI. That's technology, that we're just technology in general. Phones, computers, laptops, PlayStations, game systems, microphones. See what I'm saying? What more have we not been shown, and what more is happening? Come on, man. This screams like end times kind of agenda stuff that will be used and abused in such a way, not to compliment people, but to enslave them. I don't know of another way to put it. I don't. So anyways, guys, that's the video. If you like the video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.